Hello, 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 travelers. Welcome back to the next episode of Severance. The implications, as always, are implicating, right? I don't know if I would call this an apology per se, but I always feel like I have to say something about it. And no matter how close and careful attention I pay to every episode, it always, thanks to everybody who points out everything else to me, I either forget that I've already learned information in previous episodes or even seasons, as it turns out, or I'll still miss stuff. So you'll have to forgive me. I catch a lot, but with a show like this, I definitely can't catch everything. Very disconcerting. After a very quick Google search, episode 7 is going to be titled Chikhai Bardo, if that's how you say it. And I was like, well, the episode hasn't come out yet. I think it's safe to do a quick little Google search. What's the meaning of Chikhai Bardo? It is a Tibetan Buddhist term that refers to the first stage of death or the moment of death. It's a transitional state between life and the final death. Explanation: the word Bardo is Tibetan for gap or intermediate state. The Bardo of death is the gap between life and death. The Chikhai Bardo begins when the signs of death appear and continues until the breath ends. The Chikhai Bardo is a pivotal moment, a razor-thin boundary between life and death. And given Mark's state of being at the end of episode 6 with the with eyes wide open and the frothing at the mouth and losing motor functions, I don't have a great feeling about what's going to happen. Irving stated that he was starving right after they found the dead chimera seal-looking thing, which reminded me of Project Montauk. Just wanted to bring that up because several people have mentioned Montauk. It's been asked that I look up severed badges, and our main team's badges are those that we've seen so far, as well as 3 additionals here: the gallery, and then the general guide. As far as we know so far, blue, macrodata refinement; green, optics and design; light green, mammalians nurturable; and black is the severed floor administration and security, which we've definitely seen. Grainer, we've seen Grainer use that. I feel like Drummond would have one. Yeah, so apparently, look, I got a little bit excited about the whole duplicates removed on the paperwork, and perhaps I'm reaching too far into it all. That's very well possible. People are saying, oh, you can actually see it closely and it's a reference to documents being pulled. So if that's the case, which I mentioned in my reaction, I said now that could just be in reference to paperwork being duplicated, but otherwise, you got to admit, hell of a coincidence for the theories out there to be talking about body swapping and duplication with people, and then a document that is part of Irving's Severance research happens to say the word duplicates on it. So far be it from me to jump to some conclusions with the trampoline that was provided. Mark thinks Helena is talking about the OTC, and Helena repeatedly refers to it as the other night, as if she's trying to get Mark to recall that they shared vessels, either to conjure up something from outing Mark, some sort of recollection, or fishing for hints of reintegration. Milkshake's speech in the mirror wasn't strictly him reflecting and talking to himself. He started with the phrase that he used to tell Miss Swan to grow up, and then with every repetition simplified his verbiage. It's like he was punishing himself for his performance review. I remember when that scene happened, I was like, there's deeper meaning here. I don't know, for some reason mentally I wasn't in the headspace to dive deeper into it. I could tell he was clearly going through it. Reciting this in the mirror, it's directed at himself. But yeah, it seems like he took his performance review to heart. Could you also call the paperclip copying on the table and all that as like another form of like self-flagellation in a way, or like punishment? Because he was doing the paper clips all the correct way, right? They were all front to back. Like he mouthed off to Miss Swan, like put Miss Swan in her place, and then corrected his paperclip usage, and then simplified his dialogue in a chastising manner to himself in the mirror. You're talking about reclaiming trauma, and it's weird that Mark and Helly have been violated in different ways. Mark was physically assaulted, and Helly has the knowledge that the person she likes slept with someone else, and that person also occupies her own body sometimes. It's weird for innies. Surely some of their outside selves have sex and relations with other people, and their bodies are part of that, but they'll never know about anything that happens on the outside. So Helly is in a unique position to have the knowledge of what Helena did with Mark. Funny enough, a lot of discourse online, there are people that are vehemently arguing their point whether or not what happened would be considered sexual assault. I definitely think it was intrusive of boundaries, but people are also making the arguments of like, well, is a severed person a separate person? Are they two people? Are they two sides of the same coin? I don't know. That's the whole thought experiment, right? But there's people online that are like,
it technically wasn't like actual assault, right?
And then everybody else is like, what are you talking about? but all I know is that there was a violation of boundaries based on at least this other version of yourself that has been created. So in a way, another version, another person, and that person would be violated because technically, I mean, like, what would you then call the original? Would you say that one is the copy or the other isn't? The other is just the more pure version of yourself. And then it's like you're gonna split hairs about like sexual assault when it comes to this sci-fi conversation. I don't know. It's funny how people always still try to find defenses for what can or can't be classified as like, you know, sexual assault or inappropriate or something like that. That's all I'll leave it on in general, is that there are people that aren't even open to that being a possibility. They're like, oh, well, I know the definition. I'm like, all right, but like, you're not even going to talk about it. Helena's, I'm like head of the company, felt very Kendall Roy-esque to me, 100%. Like she has a lot of responsibility on her shoulders, cleaning up the OTC, for example, though obviously a lot of that duty was passed down to Milchek and as the heir apparent, but her father is still very much in charge over her most of all. Also, I could not figure out her angle at the dinner table at all. Like she's clearly flirting and upset she doesn't have complete unguarded access to Mark down on the 7th floor anymore, but the stuff about Gemma felt really aggressive and leading, especially calling her Hannah, right? Which could of course also just be part of her off-brand awkward flirting, but I don't know. Feels like she's probing him for something. There's a YouTube comment we'll get to in a moment that also addresses that a little bit. I truly think Audi Burt is either like a spy for Lumen or someone similar to Helly, has a larger role but went down and got severed to prove it works. The 20 years slip up and his overcorrection of it is too much of a coincidence. I agree. I think between literal framing and shots of like the fireplace behind him during dinner, those lingering gazes in the back of Irving's skull as he leaves for dinner, overcorrection trying to obfuscate from what Fields was not so subtly dropping during his drunken dinner and all that. There's definitely something going on there. And also for that to be the night and the exact time frame that Drummond happens to show up at Irving's apartment to break and enter and like comb through the place for evidence and such. It's either organized or it's a hell of a coincidence. Also something worrisome I'll get to in a moment through someone else's video. Where was Radar? I didn't even think about that. I'm very concerned. Why didn't Radar show up in the middle of that apartment clean out? Innies are basically your true self with all the context of life. I feel like the show is setting up our main cast of Innies to reintegrate and find themselves again, possibly driven by all these love triangles. But possibly. I did a video on Dylan possibly having romantic issues with his wife, and out of all the shorts I put on YouTube, that was my most disliked, so I don't know, but I think people would disagree. Fan theories are fine in small doses, very small doses, like almost none, especially when it comes to reactions. I struck up a conversation with two of my like loose acquaintance adult friends the other day because they happen to be into Severance. We spent almost an hour talking about like theories and theory crafting. Dude, the theories they had going on, one guy thinks that nothing is real in this show. He agrees there's a lot of like religious and theological like symbolism. He compared it to like Evangelion. Well, I'm talking about color theory over here. They were getting a deep dive into like number theories and all that, with the numbers you see repeating, whose monitors we've seen so far. I can't go over all 100 comments, obviously. Yeah, so Dylan's last name, I once again got excited about the whole Dylan George, but it's just me literally forgetting. I forgot that literally the last time we heard it was the guy at the Great Doors Factory, even as far back as season 1 in different notes. Like, we've known Dylan's last name for quite a while. Honest mistake, I forgot. Helena episode 3 stares at Cabell for 5 seconds. Cabell changes her mind. Helena episode 6 stares at Mark for 5 seconds. Mark changes his mind. It's that Egan stare, indeed. PD in season 1, it's like having two different lives suddenly stitched together, but the relativity's f***ed. So my first day at Lumen is as far back as my 5th birthday. I do have a Severance watch party coming up. I have a group of my very close friends in my cinema group. Only a couple of us have seen the show, and I very much want to spread the gospel as much as I can. I think that'll come in handy because I'm overdue for a rewatch, and I think rewatching season 1, even before the end of season 2 happens, will be very beneficial to anything I may have missed. Wintertide equals Dieter twin? Perhaps. Apparently I misheard the word. I thought it was floated the chip. Apparently she said flooded the chip. So your first performance view is today, right? Miss Huan while they are prepping the funeral. It's the same day. People trying to outthink this show end up overcomplicating it and confusing themselves. I don't know, man. There's a lot of theory crafting about timelines in this show, and if it's being told in a linear sense or if it's all being told kind of like, you know, watching Pulp Fiction or something. Not the mon cher entering your vocabulary permanently. Lesta, Lestat de Lianco, the it boy that he is, influencing everyone. The cast said there's no cloning. Well, yeah, because the cast had never been wrong before. Are you kidding me? There's literally bits of the lore that Patricia Arquette herself has like fudged in behind the scenes interviews, especially stuff from like Lexington Letter. Like, also, like I said in my theory video for Severance, you think if anybody submitted a theory and got it right, you think on the promotional material via Vanity Fair before the premiere of the show, they would be like, oh, that guy got it. Yeah, that's the answer. Like, are you out of your mind? James became CEO in 2008. Is it James or Jamie? It's gotta be James. Per the Perpetuity Wing, he acts like he has Parkinson's. Helena says here that the chip was his idea. It could be that all of this is a big research venture for James to find his early onset disease. Maybe that this is something the board is holding over him to control the development of Severance. Railing a quarter gram of ketamine. Watching you watch Severance has been the best part of my week during season 2. Dude, Garrett, you be careful with that stuff, man. Take it easy. All right, we can't get too lost deep down in all the different comments and everything. I wanted to show one last thing that shows just how much I'm missing myself, and that I guess I need to be looking even closer.
There is one thing you need to understand. Nothing is a coincidence or an accident, and that is telling us this is the tip of the iceberg. The second thing you need to understand is that there are multiple ways of interpreting something. For instance, the statue is either going to be a duck or a rabbit, depending on your interpretation, and it's a direct reference to this image. To that end, how would you interpret always seeing the red fish in his tank on the right side? But then in the very next scene, we see that same side of the fish tank from the wall side point of view with a blue fish. And if you know anything about these types of fish, two males cannot occupy the same space or they're going to start throwing fins. Now, I'm going to need y'all to lock in because in the opening credits, we see what looks like Cobell's car submerged in icy waters. Again, no coincidences, as well as the spermy vial. We don't know what that is. That vial is the reintegration. Now, later on, when Mark is coming out of the restaurant, this was interesting. We see the name, and the only thing lit up is the FU. Again, there are no coincidences, and the entire thing means paternal grandfather. We have seen that here, Egan is referred to as grandfather. Speaking of the restaurant scene, am I the only one who just wanted to reach in and punch her for calling her Hannah? Two more things really quick. When Drummond was breaking into Irv's apartment, where the hell was Radar? And these scenes were just beautifully shot. It was no coincidence. He had fire and brimstone behind him. They were just beautiful shots. Yeah, but again, no, it's not a coincidence. That man, he's evil.
But it's a good point with the fish as well. Like, there's a lot of little things. I catch most of it, or I shouldn't say most of it. I'm giving myself way too much credit. I catch a good chunk of visual things and the ways the scenes are done, whether it's in direction or what's placed in the scene. But there's even more that I need to be paying attention to, it seems. I think the last thing I had was I thought it was just funny. On Apple TV's website, there's a video capitalizing on the lo-fi craze, but with Dylan instead. Music to refine to. No, obviously I don't want to get copyright strikes or anything like that. So the Innies have an entrance for the first 50 minutes. Oh, so it's all just Severance. I see. Any entrance, MDR file assignment, initiate refinement, refine clusters, music dance experience, revere Kier, purify data, Audi departure. I wouldn't mind having that on in the background when I'm like working or something like that. Perfect playlist for some night gardening. All right, love to see it. Sorry once again if these intros are on the longer side, but per request, I am addressing comments and we're going over theory crafting. I have to bring this up if I can find it. This was a few days ago, but it's like one of my favorite like low-key negative comments. Here it is. It's one of my new favorite comments right now. 5 days ago on episode 1. Cool vid. Just dislike the constant unfunny jokes. Like there always had to be some joke. The analysis were good. So first of all, I commend your grammar, Black 4466700. Great grammar right there. But I just thought it was funny how someone was like, I love your very insightful commentary. The analysis was good, but kind of with the funny business, huh? Like it just kills me. I do make sure to put in a timestamp at the beginning of the episode, so anybody who's not interested in theory crafting can kind of get right to the meat and the heart of things. Oh, one last thing I'll be doing, I think I'm gonna regret it. I am going to put on subtitles because there have been multiple times where I admit I might have missed a thing or two. They come in handy, and normally I'm always a subtitle guy, but I just worry because like I don't want to taint my viewing experience of an episode. Like visually, I want to be immersed, but also sometimes subtitles, because of a dash here or there, can like spoil when something's about to happen or occur. But I recognize the fact that it's important. I recognize that I want to make it a nice experience for anybody watching at home as well. So I'm not going to do a recap of the last episode because that's literally 2 pages of notes here. Forgive me if I miss anything, but without further ado, I don't have good feelings. Like, I'm sure it's not going to go well. So who are we going to cut to first, huh? Man, this is always so exciting. I'm getting flashback vibes. Oh my God, no. Gemma. Oh no, we're gonna get some sad Gemma flashbacks. Okay, I'm here for it. Oh, back when he was a professor. Oh, okay. Donating blood? Plasma? This is bittersweet. Is this when they met? Boy had a beard.
You, got there.
Themes of religious conversion in Tolstoy's The Death of Ivan Ilyich.
Oh my God, spoiler alert, please.
What about you?
All quiet on the Western Blunt. Drug use by enlisted soldiers during World War I.
Student essay.
No.
She seems like a sweetheart already. Look at that smile, that face. Had to have been their first meeting. Yep, there you go.
Me too.
Oh, they say your life flashes before your eyes when you're on the brink of death. Cut to Mark on the floor. Oh, even back then. Yo. Lumen was doing blood drives. Oh no, they got their DNA. Get out of town. Get out of... No. Implications. One quick shot and that's all you need to know. I see that and I immediately think DNA acquisition. Miss Casey. Yeah, with the white backgrounds. What, is she being reactivated? Blood samples. Okay. Now who are you, ma'am? She's giving Lumen vibes.
Gemma, where did you go?
But she's calling her Gemma, so when is this? What on earth? When was that? Like in that scene right there, she had the temperament of Casey. More memories, just laying in bed with his wife. This is sad. Oh God. Yeah, see, no, literally, like I said, when you're on the, they say all the time when you're on the precipice of death, when you're about to die, when you think you're about to die, or having like an NDE, a near-death experience, for example, they often say that your life flashes before your eyes. And people that have experienced NDEs have agreed and lent credence to it. Granted, when you're about to die, you know, brain flooded with what is it, DMT? I mean, you could see anything. You could see a bunch of when you're about to die thanks to your brain. But a lot of people report that, like, yeah, kind of like your whole life in a way, like in the blink of an eye, you'll just kind of relive your life. So it makes sense that he's on the precipice here, experiencing Chikhai Bardo. He would be having visions of the first time that he met his wife, and then memories of them being happy in bed together.
Be okay.
Fish in the fish tank is blue right now.
There might be some deficits. Hopefully nothing long term.
Are you a doctor?
Now
we need
Devin
an
knows.
ambulance? Can you answer one of my questions, please? Do we need an ambulance?
No, your brother's reintegrating.
No, he's not.
I know that was troubling.
Okay, I can tell that you're smarter than me, so forgive me if I say this like super plainly. But if you give one solitary thought to messing with my brother again, I will throw you off a fucking bridge.
Devin,
We don't do that again.
we'll discuss it later.
Nope.
Oh my God.
No, it's settled fucking law, lady. Okay,
Yeah,
just accept it.
You tell him.
The end.
Devin protecting her brother. I can appreciate that.
That's what he wants.
What he wants is to know whether Gemma's alive
She
or
is.
not.
She's doing
Please
a great
don't mess
job.
with me.
She is alive.
Oh. Wait, wasn't the fish red now? Am I crazy? I can't. How many fish are in that tank? I thought it was just blue. How does it keep going between red and blue? Dude, I don't know what's going on with that damn fish. Nurse's office. Hello, man. Blood pressure test kit. Oh, you know what's funny though? Because people have been debating this for a while. So all of us, including myself, I've always assumed that the droplet of liquid in the Lumen logo, I always assumed the droplet was that of water. But people online speculate, due to the nature of what they engage in, and that they're a pharmaceutical giant, is that it's blood. What a little coinky dink that the blood drive is being done by Lumen. So again, that blood, the droplet could be actually blood at the end of the day. Who knows? Now, where
You've
this?
eaten today, honey?
She referred to her as Gemma. This has to be.
Aesthetics?
Yes. If you were caught in a mudslide, would you be more afraid of suffocating or drowning?
Drowning.
Interesting. This is the testing floor, yes? But referred to her as Gemma specifically. And
How
that
many rooms today?
rooms. And we saw, based on the medical equipment, this is quite literally, this is a lumen space. This is a lumen doctor, if you want to even say doctor. I'd say it's safe to assume that, just putting a question mark in my journal, conducted on testing floors. What on earth? She's not herself. She's still being referred to as Gemma. Now we kind of have a similar but new color palette. Instead of directly being blue or green, it's this, oh hell, what would you call that? The shade is escaping me, but it's a shade of green. Oh, but the red dress and black wig specifically. So has she known this whole time? Surely not. Oh, we're getting answers finally. Oh yeah, definitely Severance. A lower level. How deep does this facility go? What? Allentown. Allentown. The file that he did. Mark's freshman fluke. Holy oh, what? Hang on. It's Mark S. Allentown on his little glass rotating perk, right? It's a room, a location down here. And Cairns. All these rooms marked with different names, but we know Allentown. Oh my god. Revelations. Drainsville. Sheena. Loveland. We're getting so much here. Are we gonna find Cold Harbor? These are all rooms on the testing floor. If we were to assume it's the testing floor. Wellington. Oh, Gordon Ramsay in there? 6 rooms. Biometric lock on every room. She goes in and now she's severed? Do you think Gemma willingly went through with all this? The wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald? Oh no, we have our testing guy. But as a dentist, because he had the dental tools that he... Dude, so much is happening.
There she is.
Why is his hair... His hair looks different, though?
Could I please get a break? Just for a little while.
But it's been 6 weeks.
Oh my god, this guy's creepy.
I was just here.
I know. Nobody likes the dentist. I should have been an accountant like my mom wanted.
Oh no. I already have a full page of notes. I'm gonna call him EF guy, Edmund Fitzgerald guy. Clearly she's shooken up about it. I know. Nobody likes a dentist. Of all songs to hum and sing, someone tells me it's not just a checkup.
Now,
Oh my god. She's terrified.
How long was I in there?
Just a bunch of tests?
2 hours.
Okay, 6 rooms. If we're to assume, we're operating under the assumption it's a testing floor, but regardless if it's a testing floor or not, one of the rooms she went into is a guy who went up to the severed floor, went to Optics and Design, where they had basically manufactured a full dental kit for him. Whistling his jaunty tune, he goes through the exports hall and down to this floor. According to Felicia in Optics and Design, it used to be that multiple people from O&D would make the deliveries, she called them, but now it's just a guy. But this guy happens to also be a guy working in a room on a lower floor that's working dentistry. I don't know whether it's like something that's he's actually working on, if he's implanting something or doing tests. I also kind of get like Hostel vibes, you know, that Eli Roth very violent movie where rich people get to live out their fantasies and all that. I don't know if he's an actual dentist or not. Perhaps he is, but something about that scene gave me the vibe of a guy who like gets to just either practice or gets to live out his dental fantasies on severed people on this floor. It's kind of giving that Hostel, like Westworld, rich people excursion vibe just a little bit. I could be a reach, but I'm curious. Cold Harbor, baby. Here we go. Oh, Devin.
Oh, bud. I need you back, me lady.
Lady.
Please come back.
So I wonder if he's seeing this or... His live's flashing before his eyes. He's still seeing these Gemma flashbacks. Presumably this is the school again that he worked at. Because he was a professor, right? She's beautiful, I gotta say.
Brought you something.
Oh.
Oh.
It's an ant farm.
What?
Last night you said you liked ants.
That's
I
cute.
said I like plants.
Oh no.
Plants.
Oh.
Oh, I'm not even here.
Transitioned again. Is that a crib?
Really?
Well, I mean, you know, it's on sale.
Oh, is that right?
And,
Convenient. Whoa. Now we're flying through time. Okay, an appreciation for French artistry. Man's going in right now. Comment allez-vous? I mean, I'm sure we could do a scene-by-scene breakdown, but I'm just like trying to absorb it as it comes right now. Oh my god, here we go. Rickon and Devin.
Like a gecko.
There were a few boulders.
Boulders? Babe,
Oh, just
come
the
on.
stash,
It
of
was like the
course.
death zone
Love
of
it.
Everest.
I belayed my first couloir in middle school.
Cool.
What?
That sounds painful.
Oh, ramble together. Oh.
I feel like we spend a lot of time
Oh, pregnant?
Really?
Are you not drinking?
And now we're gonna cut. Beautiful, beautiful transition. Did she sign up for this willingly? Did they save her from a car wreck? Was there ever a car wreck? Like that she was involved in? No, didn't Mark say something about the pregnancy before? Like they lost the child or something like that? They tried, but...
Did you ever think about having kids?
And we tried for a little while. Wasn't really working. We talked about adopting at one point, but... No. Then you think, okay, this is the life you've been given. And that's another life. And you don't get that one. So do something with this.
That's very healthy.
Well, it's mostly stuff she said.
Ma'am? Perhaps we call somebody? Wait, did the water break or did she miscarry? I got a bad feeling it could be the latter,
Hey, hon.
given her mental state.
You okay?
Oh. Oh, the rain, it's going in reverse. Whoa.
I'm here to observe Heliar.
Flashback to that day
Miss
specifically?
Cobell's ordered, and verbally encourage her to forego further suicide.
Yeah, I think we're in Mark's mind. All these memories of Gemma. Dude, what on earth? Coils of blue cables, cords. Yo, this is like Panic Room with David Fincher vibes right now. I'm loving the direction of the camera work. Who? They're all being observed while they're working. Drainsville file. Cold Harbor. Okay, so literally there's other stations. This is huge. MDR, quote unquote, refines data. Others watching in real time, like both the video and the processing. 4 for 4. And they look similar.
Severance barriers holding.
They all look similar. The hair, the mustache, the what on earth? Are these the doubles that we saw out at Woe's Hollow? Body type, hair. They're not 100% matches, but they're like close-ish enough. Dude, I've got almost two pages already. Are the severance barriers holding? What? Come on.
Yes, the technology is working.
What technology?
You like her.
She's easy to like.
Tracksuit? What is...
She's fond of me too, of course.
No, he's the guy that was in the room.
Didn't she try and break your finger?
Wait, isn't he? What is this outfit? Drummond has on his full suit with the fattest tie ever, and this guy has on a tracksuit and like a polo underneath with the whole stash.
Didn't she try and break your fingers?
Different outfit now. Different outfit, different hair. Third page, here we go. Why would she likes me too, of course. Why would she try to break his fingers unless he was trying to do something potentially invasive to her? She's easy to like. She likes me too, of course. That's unsettling as all get out. Doctor's office, it seems. I mean, we're getting glimpses more and more of the outside world.
It's the next step for a lot of people.
What, kids?
I love you.
I love you too.
They were trying. Oh, didn't he say they were trying?
Sorry.
Lumen, new patient intake form. The Something Family Center. This questionnaire should be completed prior to the initial consultation and will help us get to know you better. Please complete the form to the best of your ability. There may be some parts of the form which are not relevant to you. Each person who will be involved in this process should complete a separate form. The information will help us service meet your unique needs and provide personalized care throughout your fertility journey. Lumen fertility. Oh my. Don't like that. What other choice do they have? Fertilization. So they went to a Lumen clinic to help Gemma get pregnant. That's worrisome. It was their property. Oh, so... did we read the paperwork? What happened? This is so interesting. I saw... Wait. Hallways and split set... Is that him with the clay and the tree? Yeah, it's Mark. It's Mark doing the clay tree during one of the wellness sessions. The crash site.
You ready?
Huh?
It's time.
The transitions between like Lumen hallways and their
Third
home.
time's a charm. I'll write you a thank you note.
Keep writing thank you notes. It's the final step. There's a kid just out there, just waiting for us.
I don't like the fact that like
Chat and grab her.
this was all a Lumen run operation. So is she remembering this too? We're also cutting to Gemma. So is Gemma also recalling a lot of this? Same guy. So in each room she goes into, like he just has either he has a variety of roles or he's just playing the part.
How are you feeling?
And there's the screen. The Cold Harbor file.
Which room caused your mouth to hurt?
Which room caused your...
Wellington.
Right. Can't imagine why. Trying to see if she can make the connection.
How many rooms did you visit today?
6.
6.
The Billings room, the Lucknow room, St. Pierre, Cairns, Zurich,
And Cold Harbor.
and
The Wellington room.
the Wellington.
Oh, Wellington.
Excellent. You remember nothing?
Testing to see what can be recalled.
Nothing.
So she wouldn't know why her mouth hurts because she was severed when she went in there, but she remembers what she feels based on what room she went to. So again, they're trying to, and you heard the guy earlier say we're trying to see if the severance barrier holds. So what, she goes in each room, they conduct some type of physical test on her and see if her outie self, whatever this version of Gemma is, what's being retained versus what's being forgotten. I don't like this.
How did you feel in the hall? Did you exit any of the rooms feeling despair, fervor, gaiety?
There's only one room I haven't been to yet, and today it had a name on it.
Cold Harbor.
Cold Harbor.
So what happens once I've been in all the rooms?
You will see the world again, and the world will see you.
They're prepping her to be put back into the real world.
So I'll see Mark.
She remembers Mark.
Mark will benefit from the world you're siring. Kier will take away all his pain, just as Kier has taken away yours.
There's so much coming at me right now. The exact verbiage. This is the most I've ever had. 1, 2, 3, about to go on to the 4th page. So she signed up for this willingly? But she's aware of Mark and wants to see him again. What if Gemma signed up for something that she thought would just be like a quick thing, right? She's like, oh, I'll do these tests and what have you. Or maybe started working for the company. I don't know, any number of things. What if she doesn't realize how much time has passed on the outside world? What if that's what it is? The world you're siring. Doesn't answer her question, like a non-answer. Mark will benefit from the world you're siring. I don't like that. I don't like that verbiage. Kier will take away. He'll take away his pain. Ah, yes, the long revered, long dead previous Egan.
Just as care has taken away yours.
I'm only writing all this down because these are important answers, right? Page number 4, here we go. Surely she's smart enough to...
Can you please just talk like a normal person?
Thank you. Thank you, Gemma.
Good night, Gemma. Dream sweet.
Even right there, can't say sweet dreams, has to say dream sweet. What on earth did you get yourself into, sweetheart? Maybe she's been led to believe this is all part of the fertilization process. Like, this is what will work. You have to trust us. Come with us, we'll get it to work. And then you can re-enter the world. Can I see Mark? Mark will benefit from the world you're siring. Hate that answer. There's something deeper here.
Is he okay? He's stable. It was an isolated event. He's journeying now.
Journeying.
When will he wake up?
When he's ready to.
You really think this is gonna work?
There's no other choice.
Yeah. Ragabi's flying by the seat of her pants. I think Petey would have been dead by now, close to it.
There's an any cabin.
Right.
And there was this woman.
Demona birthing retreat.
So maybe if we go to the cabin, we could talk to Izeni and he
They're
could...
two completely different things. This is how you get Gemma out.
Really? This? Because this looks like how you kill my brother.
You two are definitely related.
Yeah, can you blame them? Dude, the amount of like obfuscation and non-answers that like anybody, I would say Ragabi, but anybody related to Lumen gives. Like Ragabi, it's crazy how, given the sensitive and delicate nature of what's being performed by Ragabi and in this situation, like, for one, I think she has absolutely abysmal bedside manner, and I think she's self-serving in that she's trying to get more answers, and if that means running experiments on these people like they're like gerbils or guinea pigs, then so be it. But it's crazy how, like, concerned people that both she's operating on and that are related to people she's operating on, she can't just give, I mean, she's giving answers, but at the same time, it's just like she's just acting like, oh, they're like an annoyance, like they're in her way, like they're a detriment to the work that she's doing, and it's like she doesn't understand or she's not choosing to. Of course, these people are concerned. This is life or death we're playing with here.
I could call her.
Who?
Harmony Cobell.
Why would you do that? She runs the severed floor.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, she doesn't. She might know how to get in the cabin. I mean, she might know how to get to Gemma.
She's Lumen through and through. She was raised by them. She's a soldier.
It's a risk, I get that.
Confirmed she's raised by Lumen, in case we didn't already know.
She will turn you over to them. Both of us. Everything I've done to fight, gone. We resume the treatment as soon as he wakes up.
Okay, I have custody of his brain now. You don't. I'm calling her.
It's been quite a few episodes since we've seen her last. I'll be curious if she even answers.
Well, then I can't be a part of this.
What?
Great.
If you do that, if you make that choice.
What are you... No, seriously, what are you doing?
Good luck.
You
Good
can't leave
luck.
him like this.
Leave mid-operation.
No. I can't do this without you.
You crazy witch. Get out of here.
Are you kidding? You're leaving now?
This isn't my choice. It's yours.
No, I need you to say. I don't know what to do with this. What do I do if he wakes up?
Do not call that woman.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Ragabi is she drives me crazy. I get it. She's scared. She's gonna leave, but Devin, do you think this is really the best decision?
Hey. Mark.
Oh, he's saying it.
Chikhai Bardo. I don't know. It looks like two guys fighting.
The card, the fighting card. I was just talking about this with somebody about the Severance theories. This was a card they had on the outside that was somehow being printed downstairs in the severed floor on the optics and design. There's so much going on. O and D, the ones that they were very anxious to get back once they found out that Dylan had pocketed them.
No, it's the same guy fighting himself, defeating his own psyche. Ego death.
Oh, ego death is the definition they're going with?
Well, the hair's the same.
That thing came in the mail?
Guy
yeah,
fighting
it's one of those things
self.
where you have to draw a duck or a rabbit or whatever. I think I got...
Have to draw a duck or rabbit or whatever. What did we just discuss was on Milchek's desk.
Onto the mailing list at the clinic.
Why are you wasting your time with this?
Why are you being an asshole?
I'm not. I'm just, I don't know. It seems kind of...
Uh-oh.
Weird.
Trouble in Paradise.
Enjoying this.
Oops.
Where it was until you ruined it.
I think you might
Ruined
be
it.
overreacting a little bit, Gemma.
Don't do that.
Do what?
Tell me how I'm feeling.
I have no idea how you're feeling.
Like
Yikes.
So let's stop.
I'm making so many notes. But she got it because she was on Lumen's email. Like she got into an like a mailing list via Lumen. Lumen toiletry kit. It's like she's taking part in a study or a project, and so she's staying there, like on site. Huh?
It's okay. This is perfectly normal. Let's get you set up with that meal. Bon appetit. Can I get you anything else?
Now this one's like a stress test, like to see how she'll react or how she'll feel coming out of this room where it's a simulated plane crash.
Another polar.
Whoa!
He's stuck at 96%.
The nosebleed set us back.
Huh. Good timing.
When he's done, you're gonna have to say goodbye to her.
I'm aware.
The meals, and they're all the droplets.
Look here.
There's so much happening right now. It's like a Dharma facility. This guy literally keeps on changing his hair, his facial hair, his whole appearance. All these tests specifically as he's conducting them on her. The Christmas sweater.
Why are you wearing that stupid sweater?
Don't judge, Potbelly. Damn. Part of the role. It's all in the character. God, I don't like Drummond. I know it's the point. I don't like anybody who works for Lumen, really, except for Milchek. I like his character. And Cabell intrigues me.
Dear Mr. Tisdale, I cannot thank you enough.
Mr. Tisdale.
For the thoughtful Christmas gift.
She's like a whole, like, going to a
sent
Christmas
my
party?
husband and I this year.
Is she reliving memories in a way? Manufactured, sort of? What on earth are they testing? Just emotional responses?
Have never owned an electric grouter.
An electric router. I saw a goat right there. Hang on a second. Yeah, a little goat. Mammalian's nurturable over here. Once again, all the same color palettes.
Many happy memories. It will.
Dude, all the green appliances. Teal? Teal, is that the word I'm looking for? Oh, she's writing thank you cards.
Sweetheart, it's the last one.
Forced to write Xmas
Nothing
thank you cards.
says Christmas like grouting.
She's about to lose it.
It's actually a decrouter.
Oh my god.
How much longer do I have to do this?
How about you write these
I told you,
cards?
you're done. But Christmas has a funny way of coming back around each year.
Oh my god. I don't like this guy. Running her through the gambit of these weird stress tests.
Always Christmas.
Well, she's seeing through it.
Let's go. I love you.
Say it back.
I said, I love you.
Oh, I heard you. I feel like this guy's getting an emotional attachment to his test subject.
I love you too.
Look at that sense of satisfaction on his face. Tester actually ooh, I'm sorry, what was that? Interesting. There's something hidden in every frame. Gemma sitting in blue dress? Question mark. All these rooms down here on the testing floor. I'm trying to engage in my brain right now. Assuming that they are all tied to people's files. So who knows how many of these there are. Is each one actually tied to someone on the outside and the people that are working MDR are tied to this? As far as we know, Gemma is the only outside factor tying all this to them. But like somehow it all deals with emotion, right? You get assigned a file. And let's just say you have a file that's like Tummy Tilbrook, or call it something random like that, Tummy Tilbrook, and you do your file and the numbers. They make you feel fear and anxiety on the severed floor. So you find the numbers, you group them into a file folder, and as that percentage goes up, then you have somebody on the testing floor who gets put into a room, severed immediately, and that room is actually a experience of a job interview or something like that, or going to the dentist, something that would provoke anxiety or dread, and you feel that. and you experience that, and then you pop back out of it, and it's like, what did you feel being in that room? A room that's also being worked on by somebody on the severed floor, processing their emotions through the numbers, which I always have believed, my theory's been the numbers are a form of emotional self-regulation. And if this confirms there is an emotional tie between the person working on the numbers and the person experiencing the testing room, it's so hard to say. It's so hard to say. Again, look, even the knobs are little water droplets or blood droplets. Oh, here we are again. Oh, I see. Damn. Building the crib with no promise of a child. Rough times. He probably started drinking too. Lumen branded record? Even vinyl that they make? Damn. And this put a wedge in their relationship. Maybe she did this because she was desperate to also have a child. Something to notice in this, I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but here's another hallway. I assume someone coming down from the exports hallway. I like how, again, 4 people in MDR. We have the 4 lights here, the 4, like, it's just a reoccurring thing I noticed. It's the 4 lights in the shot reflective of the 4 MDR employees, which, by the way, getting into conversations with the same people I was talking about earlier in theory crafting, they're saying it's 4 because of the 4 tempers and how each person on the severed floor represents one of the 4 tempers. I think it was woe, frolic, dread, and malice, basically. So Dylan is frolic, Irving is dread, Helly is malice, and Mark is woe. That's what they were saying in their predictions for like how it all ties in together. Is that MDR, the people that are working on the severed floor in MDR, represent the 4, like the representative of the 4 tempers. Oh, nice slash of, what is that, key lime pie? Oh boy, your favorite testing doctor here to pay you a visit. I don't like this guy in this bond. He thinks he's being formed. Dr. Maurer.
My hand hurts.
From writing.
What room caused your hand to hurt?
Dr. Maurer.
Allentown.
Okay, I can tie this in. That was Allentown. Mark has his award perk that's tied to Allentown. For Gemma, Allentown was painfully writing thank you cards. I have not written this many notes for an episode of Severance ever, by the way. This is insane how much is like condensed into this episode. I love this.
I want to go home.
You can't go yet. The work is mysterious and important.
Your husband remarried last year.
Lies.
And he has a daughter now.
More lies. Of course he wants her to stay. It's good for Lumen and it's good for him. He likes her. I don't believe you.
I don't believe you.
You go, Gemma.
Gone a long time, Gemma.
Now that is true.
He's moved on.
Oh, well,
Maybe
you
you've
knew.
moved on too.
Perhaps there's a
In
handsome.
one of the rooms, what do you think?
Oh, you think? Have we done it in one of the rooms?
Do you feel yourself gravitating towards one room or another?
Oh boy.
Maybe you felt things behind those doors you never felt with Mark.
Oh my God. He's like, I think you like me. Perhaps.
Maybe I've seen it.
This guy's full of himself.
Death of Ivan Ilyich. Let me guess. He dies at the end.
Oh! Oh, she's gonna escape? Good luck. Oh my God, good luck, Gemma. But doesn't this mean that if she gets up there, won't she be like, because if she went up there, wouldn't she like sever? Motion tracking light, get out of here. They're really energy efficient around here. Surely that room was also under surveillance, right?
Gemma!
Oh no. Oh, she got his card. Good luck.
Gemma!
She's gonna sever though, right? Yeah, where do you go from there? Then sever you is just suddenly on a different floor.
Charades.
That's gonna be like 20 minutes of it.
Yeah, but
You know, charades.
Or I could stay.
Oh, is this the night of the car
you
accident?
should probably go. I mean, this thing's got to be in tonight anyway, so.
Hence even more guilt.
Did you get the Denali thing I sent?
No, I'll look at it.
This is 100% the night of the car wreck. It has to be.
I love you.
Mark.
I said.
Oh, no, I love you too, and I'm sorry.
Hence why he was monologuing in the other episode, saying you ever wish you could have done things differently, drank less, said more. But of course, it's just the severed version of her. How's she gonna know where to go? She's gonna be stopped before anything else happens. Unless she happens to like wander into Mark's arms or something. I'm sure she thinks it's just, yeah, she's like, she's full on Casey right now. So this whole time it's been Gemma on the testing force and then Casey whenever she's been up here.
Miss Casey.
Oh.
Mr. Milchick,
I'm so sorry.
what's happening?
Nothing. Your Audi came in for a public art exhibition and found herself in the wrong elevator.
Damn.
Oh, how long have I been?
If you wouldn't mind turning around and heading back in, it would be greatly appreciated.
But
on you go.
On you go, huh? Poor thing. She can never escape. Of course, he was alerted. I'm sure he rushed right to the door. Damn. Well, we know confirmed.
Thank you, Miss Casey.
Come on, Milchick. Don't be cruel. Gemma was never cruel. Of course, what would her Innie know, right? What a damn shame. That's gotta be the night of the car wreck. I like how I'm writing this just now at the end of the episode here. But yeah, Gemma severed. Page number 5 of notes. Oh my. What an evening. Yeah, I'm sure it's the police being like, I'm sorry, but something's happened to your wife. Damn. You tried. Oh, get out of here. These faces. Everybody who works for Lumen has a really easily hateable face. Maybe not everybody, but you know what I'm saying. Oh. Damn. Oh, see, and he can put 2 and 2 together. So that night, was there was the accident staged? Did she go willingly? Was she picked up afterwards? And she realizes there is no escape. Damn. For all intents and purposes, Gemma is... Oh, I like that transition. All in his head, in his mind. Shrouded in darkness. Mark finally wakes up. His life flashed before his eyes. Or at least the life he had with Gemma. Oh, what, is he going to wake up and Cabell's going to be there? What do you want to bet? It's going to be like, we have work to do. I've got some mugs to throw at you.
Hey.
Hello?
Careful. Easy.
Took quite a tumble there. So what was that? He was out for, what, 2 days?
Mark, where'd you go?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you. Haunted. Haunted. Oh. Oh no, it's me emotional. As like one last fleeting memory of her plays through his mind again. That's all that was on his mind when he was down and out. Beautiful episode, very well done. Finally have a bit more information. We can speculate more on what happened to Gemma. This show has a miraculous knack for giving us answers to questions and alluding to what certain things mean and what connects to what, while at the same time, as questions are answered, more are posed just inherently by just implication.
Chikhai, Bardo.
Like ego death.
2 guys fighting.
No, it's the same guy fighting himself, defeating his own psyche.
Is that the idea behind Severance? Ego death?
Episode 7. It's a really complicated episode because we're learning a lot. We're seeing Mark and Gemma's relationship, which we've been talking about for a long time, and now we get to understand what their relationship actually was.
We really got to go back and create this past for Mark and Gemma, and you can see the magic of Gemma and why she immediately took over his life and his heart.
Mm-hmm. Vibrant person.
Our cinematographer Jessica Lagagne directed that episode, and it looks unlike anything else on the show, and sort of this idyllic time in this beautiful world that Jess created.
It's a tricky episode because it talks about 5 years of these characters' lives that we
5
don't really
years.
get to see, and how do you tell that in 15 to 20 minutes, which is what we have on screen, to tell their whole entire story. But I think there's just enough for people to understand and feel what they need to feel there.
Yes.
And I think what Jessica did
Brilliant
is pretty
work.
special in terms of figuring out how to tell some of this backstory.
She did a miraculous job. Wonderful direction. Beautiful way to reveal the story.
So it was fun to experiment a little bit and to let the story dictate visually how we were telling it.
How is Rickon an
where we see
outdoorsman?
them with Devin and Rickon. That environment is all about warmth and openness, which is the exact opposite of what we get at Lumen.
Yes.
That was really special for me because even with the first season scripts, the idea was the four of them had been quite close before
Yeah.
all of this happened. And to be able to sort of reverse engineer that this season and go back and take a look at what those relationships looked like. was
Fill
really
in the
special.
context.
It was so nice to visit that more buoyant time.
Oh.
And that side of all those characters.
Oh my God. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Also, I meant to look it up earlier. What on earth is a couloir? A steep, narrow gully on a mountainside. I belayed my belayed. It means to delay, doesn't it? I delayed my first gully when I was in school, so I had to do it now. Everybody has to have a certain way of talking, I swear.
It was cool to see Outie Mark get to be happy because up until this point, his Outie self represented his grief. And so seeing that version of his Outie self in retrospect is bittersweet.
Edmund
We're seeing
Fitzgerald.
Gemma on this testing floor that we've never been to, and that they are doing these severance tests on her that we don't quite understand.
Right.
Deachin did great work having to really explore Gemma. It's the first time we really see her other than a picture.
Yeah.
Deachin said to create this character out of whole cloth.
She's
someone we
done
had never met
phenomenally.
before, but is really the impetus for what ends up being the show. So it's a real challenge to come up with something like that. And I think she did an incredible job.
She's been really fun to work with because we've been able to do different things in each room
Yeah.
and kind of tackle different parts of her personality.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, well, who's Gemma?
Very
And
versatile.
we're discovering that with her backwards. So the interesting thing is, it's like getting to peel those layers off
The
with
camera
her.
work too, as in
We
she
really
gets
get
to just
see
leave.
the inner workings of Lumen, and you start to gather that this severance thing is far more important than just productivity at work.
Yeah, these are human
We're gonna
trials, like
find
I've been
that
saying since
what is
season
going
1.
on the severed floor in some way contributes to what's going on down below.
Yes.
But we still don't know why.
Not
we still
quite.
Don't know the seed of that.
There's
mystery.
something a little bit deeper, but we're so
Are the
close to
severance
getting there.
barriers holding?
I'm telling you. I think my theory still prevails through all of this, which is that from the word go, I've said that the work that MDR is doing, mysterious and important though it may be, I'm telling you, it's all a form. I mean, I've been seeing the numbers itself are a form of like self-emotional regulation, and they're working through like their own coding and filing. But I mean, these are also now clearly tied to tests that are being done on the testing floor, which I don't know if this ties to every single one of them, but at least in Mark's case, it definitely ties to him in a personal sense, given that, you know, Gemma's involved. So there's some things that aren't quite lining up still. There's still some things to figure out. We're still not quite there. I can't quite tell 100% if I'm right or if I'm on the right track. I think I'm on the right track, but no other episode of Severance have I had this many notes, period. From when they first met each other, they were doing blood drives, so they were collecting DNA from the public at large. Mark's fish tank, the fish being red or blue, is still a mystery in itself. All the testing done by Gemma, up to 6 rooms in a day, different outfits, all locked by biometric blood locks. Anytime that she leaves, so she's unsevered on the testing floor, but anytime that she enters a room or tries to leave through the elevator, Severance kicks in. The guy who keeps whistling the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, he's a creep that's developed a crush on Gemma, but his name is Dr. Maurer, was it? Once she's done, they claim she can enter the real world, but something tells me it wouldn't be her original self. She's aware of Mark, clearly. Maurer says, quote, Mark will benefit from the world that you're siring. Kier will take away all his pain, just as you know what that tells me? Will have taken away all his pain, just as he's taken away yours, as in severed, as in... Milchek says the work being done will trickle to your outie. Is there a way, maybe what they're trying to do down there is trying to rewrite outies through their innies? Like through like either what they know mentally or through their emotional experience? Why else would he phrase it like that? That actually gives away a lot. Kier will take away his pain as he has taken away yours. The pain is taken away when you are severed and you're an innie and you have no context or recollection of the emotional turmoil that you and your Audi have faced on the outside. So, of course, Kier has taken that away. The world you are siring this world, and Mark will benefit from it. Like a world of the innies, a world of people, like we make you permanently innie and send you back out into the world as a different curated person, perhaps. There's dark implications there. That's what that tells me. Mauer saying it like that makes me fearful that what Lumen's trying to do is be able to switch people on and off at will, or maybe make a world like mind control kind of deal, like make a world of people that are their innies, or it's kind of like Total Recall, right? Or those I brought it up before on a previous episode of Severance, but that episode Doctor Who, where it's you have the happy patches, or the bliss patches, I think they called them, and it's a world where you can get rid of your trauma and your emotional turmoil by just if you have the chip in you, you can like take out certain. It makes sense, right? Because they're literally studying emotional responses, both positive but really otherwise. All the tests that she's going through are provoking negative emotions: pain in her hand, anxiety, dread, fear, or from the dentist to the fear of being on a plane crash. They're trying to isolate those experiences in a vacuum aside from the person who would be, the unsevered person. Because they're severed and have no other, I guess, frame of reference or context, it's like a separate pool to draw from. It sounds like Lumen is trying to isolate these core emotions so that in the future they could isolate them, select them, and remove them from people that have the chip installed. They're trying to, I think that's what it is. That's my tinfoil hat theory. My new theory is that Lumen is trying to identify these different emotions in our brains so that way they can kind of sell it that way to people. Whether people know it or not, they want to have a chip you can implant and a method, foolproof perhaps, that they can say, okay, you have the chip, you lost your child last year, flip the switch, you no longer feel sadness, and you make people feel joy, make people compliant, complacent. We already know they have their pockets and all types of different, government dealings and such. So Ragabi's out of there. Devin may have called Cabell, but we don't know for sure. And the same fighting cards we saw at OND. So they were manufactured at OND, and they were sent to Gemma because she was on their mailing list talking about ego death. The same duck rabbit picture was referenced that we saw as the little statue on Milchek's desk. All these different concepts. I can go over the notes again and again, but we've pretty much reached the end of our voyage here. We only have 3 more to go. Like I said, we have more answers, but we also have more questions. A week from today, 8, Sweet Vitriol. The shortest one yet. Oh my God, 37 minutes. That's hands down the shortest episode so far of the season. As always, thank you guys and gals so much for watching. That was last episode of Severance. I think I have some, as I've formulated now, we have some new tinfoil hat theories, the implications, and the discoveries. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to what the show will bring us in the future. I like how we're balancing the show, and we're cutting, it's not all just Mark, we're cutting between different characters. This one obviously was more about Mark, but more so kind of just a Gemma episode on finally getting some information and some answers to all of that, some blanks filled in basically. The show does a masterful thing that I really enjoy and appreciate, where we are given answers while simultaneously being given more questions. And I love a show that can give you things to discover and figure out while also still deepening the mystery throughout. Thank you all so much for watching. If you weren't already aware, I think I forgot to shout it out at the beginning of the episode, but as always, if you're watching these on Patreon, for one, you get them early access on Patreon, or earlier than YouTube anyway, full, uncut, uncensored HD video accompaniment. Otherwise, I will try to edit them and get them out onto YouTube as quickly as I can. But that extra layer is appreciated. I really appreciate the love and support. Like the video if you get a chance. Hopefully don't dislike it, but there's still some dislikers. I still have some hate watchers. It's fine. But like the video, comment below. Positive, negative disagreements. Even keep the hate coming, I suppose, or the really weird backhanded ones where it's like, good analysis, but you're not funny, bro. Come on. Put the fries in the bag, man. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good day. Have a good night. And I'll see you when you clock into your next shift with me together at Lumen next week. Goodbye, travelers.